Hey, it's Bella.
It's Tay.
It's Coco.
And welcome to the Black Geniuses Bring Joy and Love podcast. We are Genius Joy Love Scholars from a program held in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania at the University of Pitt. And on our podcast, we're just going to kind of, talk about some things, ask some questions, do some interviews, and yeah.
Maybe laugh a little bit, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
I hope y'all enjoy. Tay?
The first thing we're going to get into is how we feel about the Genius Joy and Love program. So I have some questions here. What experience from Genius Joy and Love do you think you will remember the most, Coco?
I'd say like the way that everyone instantly like clicked with each other because I don't know, we've only known each other for like 2-3 weeks at this point, and I feel like I've known y'all for like so long. I'm just like instantly comfortable with everyone for the most part. Another thing is just like how they kind of let me get to know more about like my culture, like and being Black, and I just really enjoy that. And yeah.
Period.
T. T.
Clocked it.
Okay. So Bella, this is for you. The teacher that impacted you most, what was so special about them?
So the teacher that impacted me the most would have been my English teacher that I actually just most recently had in 11th and 12th grade year. And for me, she impacted me the most because she showed me in class what it was like to actually be educated and not just be schooled or talked at, to actually have somebody who sat, especially in English, somebody who actually sat and read my essays and read my work and gave me like actual feedback instead of just, oh, you did the essay, check, you did it, you get 100%. Like, no, she actually sat and took time to learn the students. And she also didn't make the books that we would read in class just about reading. She would actually have us, take like a real world problem that was happening in the world now. And even if it wasn't to us, if it was just something that we saw around us, take it and try to fit it in with whatever part of the book that we were reading and see how much stuff really hasn't changed or how much it has changed. Because I actually found that a lot of things that are in the older books, especially like Gatsby and The Crucible and stuff like that you read in your 11th and 12th grade year, there's actually a lot of things that they talk about that if you actually sit and analyze what they're talking about, that they fit within stuff that is happening today, like right now. So yeah, I'd say she definitely, to me, she gave me the best experience in school that I could have asked for.
Can I answer this question too?
Yes.
I actually have two teachers. So my first teacher that I'm gonna say is Miss Wigney Hartz from SciTech. Guys, I went to SciTech, if you know what that is. It's like a science and technology, like STEM school. There was a teacher named Miss Wigney Hartz, and she wasn't really like a teacher. She was just like a sub. But if you knew Miss Wigney, you knew like she genuinely cared for the kids. She tried her hardest to like really build a bond with the kids. She wasn't just like there just to get a paycheck and leave. Like, she genuinely cared. Even whenever she left, she sent like a long email to like almost all the kids in the grade saying how much she loved us, how much she cared for us. And she just created a safe place for others and I, and just like let us know, like you can come to me, not for everything, because she's still a mandated reporter, but like, she just, you can tell she genuinely cared for everyone, and she really just wanted to be there for you. Yeah, she was your teacher, but she also made sure there was a difference between teaching and then being like, not necessarily like a friend, but like someone you can genuinely come to about things.
Right.
And then another teacher that I have, her name was Miss Diaz. Oh my goodness. So at first, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little iffy about Miss Diaz because like she came like maybe the beginning of my 11th grade year, so everyone was kind of like a little iffy about her. But when I, like, me having her as a teacher, she genuinely showed me that you can literally, like, don't even know where I'm going with this. She literally, I'm gonna just tell y'all. She literally would stop her lesson and just have us talk about our day. Because usually when I had her, it was like right after lunch. And so like, you know, teenagers after lunch and, you know, like recess or activity or whatever,
They're wild and
they're
crazy
wild.
and
They don't want to do no
listen,
work, literally.
like,
And
yeah.
so if she realized like everyone would like be asleep and not like want to pay attention, or, you know, she would stop her lesson and just have us like talk about, you know, what's going on with us, you know, how our like lives outside of school are. And you know, I would literally skip lunch just to sit with her if I was having a bad day, and she genuinely would make me feel better. She would bring us food. Like, she made sure, like, we were okay. She wasn't just like, okay, guys, open your textbooks to page 50 and read 100 pages. No.
She was one of them teachers. She sounds like one of them teachers that's like, oh, like, that's my school auntie. Like,
Literally.
Like, she's my auntie at
Literally.
school. Like, she's the person that I go to, that I talk to, that, like I
Like,
can
when
confide
my
in her.
mom-
Like,
when my
Literally.
mom doesn't understand, but I need somebody to understand.
Right.
I can run to her.
Right.
Okay, so I would like to answer this one. It says, what do you feel you needed as a student during your adolescence? I needed more support. Definitely needed more support. And
Felt
then
that one.
being in a PWI, because the elementary school that I went to was a PWI, like it was predominantly white, and I didn't have any black teachers until my second grade, and she was the only black teacher I've had. And she
Was it Miss Mitchell?
yeah, Miss Mitchell, and she like cared for all of us so much, and the whole class was black, and that was my only all black class that I had. And like, I felt a difference in the way like I got taught from like third grade to second grade. Like second grade, I didn't have a teacher. I had an educator. I had somebody that cared for us. In
Right.
like any other grades, I just had somebody that was just talking to at me, not to me, and I hated that because I didn't have somebody I could talk to at home very much, because of the fact that my mom was always at work or my dad was always at work, and like when we got home from work, they would either be leaving for work or about to be leaving for work and stuff like that, and like that messed up like some of my trust and stuff like that. But like, she brought it back. She brought all of that back, and then she had recently passed in like ninth grade.
R.I.P. Miss Mitchell.
R.I.P. Miss Mitchell. And the tears that was dropped from not only me, but like a lot of the kids that had her class was outrageous. Like, I want to be that teacher.
Yeah. Just to touch kind of on what you said too. I had a teacher in kindergarten, mind you. This was kindergarten. Okay. So me and my best friend and one of the other boys that we were friends with when we were younger, we were the only people we knew when we started kindergarten. Like, we had been friends from preschool, so we were like, yeah, we sat next to each other, we would talk, we would do whatever. And it got to a point that we got moved from each other. Okay, cool, whatever. That's, you know, that's not a big deal. You get moved from your friends sometimes, whatever. But then it got to a point where I wouldn't even be talking to them. Like, I'd be doing my work, minding my business, and my kindergarten teacher would find something to call my mom about every day. I promise you, I probably got my house called almost every single day in kindergarten, because I just simply don't think my kindergarten teacher liked me. And then it was just so crazy because she did all of that in kindergarten just to turn around, like, I don't know, I was in like 4th, 5th grade, something like that. And she was talking to her kindergarten kids that she had then, and I can't even remember what she said, but she looked at me and she was like, "Isn't that right, Bella?" And I was like, "You don't like me. Like, you called my house every day for no reason, and I wasn't the only student that was doing bad things, quote unquote doing bad things," as she would say. So like, I definitely understand not having that educator that will actually educate you, and just having a teacher who just wants to talk at you or try to get you in trouble for every little thing that you're doing. So, yeah.
Yeah. And like, I hate having people that talk at me and not to me, because if we're all civilized people, citizens, everything, Why can't we sit down and have a conversation? Why do you have to just sit there and yell
Right.
or talk at me like I'm dumb or something?
I was gonna say, I don't like when people talk at me because I feel like
Now I feel
they're
like I'm
talking
lesser.
down to me.
Yeah.
And then like teachers get upset whenever you don't know that like the answer to something. Girl, you wasn't teaching me. You were just talking at me, expecting me to
Right.
understand
And
what you were saying.
And then they would change it up and be like, well, your daughter started it first and da-da-da. I have the whole class on my side. You don't understand that. I
No,
can do
literally.
damage, okay? We recorded off the school laptops, I promise.
Oh my goodness.
I've recorded off the school laptop. It's crazy, crazy,
Like
crazy.
we have
crazy.
the recording. My mom already seen it, girl. You're just putting yourself deeper, and it wouldn't even be like this isn't just towards black people. Like she would target certain people, and certain people she would just be like, oh well, that's my favorite, and she would be open about it. And guess who the favorites were? The white
the
people.
white
Yeah.
kids.
The 3 white kids we had in that school, because everybody else was Latin, Hispanic, black.
So they were all people of color.
Yeah, we had. I'm not gonna say we had 3 black people, but we did have. 3 white people, because we did have a lot of white people, but it was majority black. Like Perry is majority black,
Mm-hmm.
or just colored people in general. Like in the white people that go there, act like, I'm not gonna say act black, but like they act ghetto and act hood and act like
Right.
they're-
They don't act like what the stereotypical
Yeah.
White person.
white person
Yeah, they
is
act-
supposed to act
They
like.
act like the
Mhm.
stereotypical black people, like how
Can we touch bases on that a little bit about
Yeah.
how like people say, "Oh yeah, you're acting black" for someone speaking in slang or just
Yeah.
like being quote unquote
or because
ghetto,
right,
like,
or
Like,
because they may
why-
be a little
I don't
loud.
like that. Like
yeah.
I just don't. And then like if you're a black person that talks proper, you're whitewashed. You
This,
want to
that,
be
and the third.
white. Like that's so backhanded
When-
to me.
when, not gonna lie to you, if you go into a black neighborhood, like a black owned neighborhood, like Northview Heights, it is good out there. Like it's pretty, it's clean, it's everything. And then you go to like Manchester, where most white people like moved to and then moved out, and they were like, well, it's dirty and it's ghetto and da da da. It was predominantly white out there. Like for a while there was just white people out there, and then when black people moved back, that's when it's quote unquote ghetto and this, that, and the third. But we only moved out there because it's affordable, and y'all keep raising prices on houses and then not giving us good jobs. Like we don't have good jobs, you know.
Yeah.
But that's just how I feel. Coming from like a mixed household, like I always had differences.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So it's always like, oh, you're too black for the white people, and you're too
oh,
white
100%.
for the blacks.
Me being dark skinned, I think I've always been considered too black for the white kids, but then also too black for the black kids. And I feel like that's not talked about enough because I've only been really picked on the most by my own kind. Like it's not even like white people. I mean, yeah, here and there, a little racism here, a little racism there, like,
Yeah.
But I feel like the most I get picked on is from my own people, and it's just like, how can I
They-
be too black for the black kids? I don't understand that.
They teach the black kids to not like our kind because of the fact that we're ghetto and ratchet and this, that, and the third. But we're really not.
Because let's really talk about it. Race, like, in my opinion, is a social construct. It's
Yeah.
something that society uses to define you.
Oh, 100%.
And light skin, brown skin, dark skin, that's literally
That's
just
all
stuff
black.
that society made up so that they can
It's
label
still
you.
all black.
And I just don't understand that. And it's just like the way, I'm not going to sit here and lie. Everyone gets discriminated against in their own way.
Yeah.
But the way black people pick on dark skinned people is just so crazy to me. It's just like literally when I was in elementary school, I used to get picked on by the middle schoolers. Mind you, we went to elementary school
Yeah.
together. I'm in 4th and 5th grade getting picked on by 7th and 8th graders. I'm not even gonna say what they called me because I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. But still, it's just like there should be no reason y'all are calling me all these names just because I'm dark skinned. It
What
wasn't even
I
like
realized is that It's not even like the dark skins don't have people to run to, because I feel like every time I see a dark skin, I see a light skin or a mixed kid, because of the fact that since we are too black to be with anybody else, we're not too black to be with each other. So like you'll always see a dark skin with a light skin, or a brown skin with a light skin, because then they want us to feel included, and we still feel left out sometimes.
Right.
And people don't understand that, because when I tell people I feel left out, they're like, why? I'm like, I don't know, I just do. They're like, there's no reason, you're still here. I'm like, yeah, but y'all are talking about things I can't relate to, like,
Right.
at all. And then it's like, some people like look at us differently because of the fact that we're light skin or mixed or black or brown skin or dark skin. And then with like Asians, Koreans, Chinese, Japanese, all of that, they all just label it as Chinese or Asian. That's not what they are.
Right.
Like, not at all, actually. And I'm tired of that. Why we all have to be a statement? Why can't we just be ourselves?
Right.
Right. I don't know. I just feel like black people, I don't know, because I feel like it's because of what we're taught, and I feel like, I'm not even going to sit here and lie, I feel like the school system also sets it up too, because like, in my opinion, I feel like if you go into a lot of schools, I'm not going to say every school, but at least like, for example, I went to SciTech. SciTech is a predominantly white school. There wasn't a lot of people that looked like me. So when you walk in the building, the school is very much segregated. Everyone has
Right.
said it. Multiple guests have said it. It's not even like I'm making this up. SciTech is completely segregated. So it's just like, I feel like when you go to like the black kids, I feel like they instantly click with each other because of the fact that
Right.
they're black. But then the white kids, I don't know, it's just the way the school system doesn't really set anyone up to like, you know, especially SciTech, to like be together as a whole. They just let everyone be segregated. I just don't.
And I think part of that too is society. I think society has played a big part on why we segregate ourselves, and you know, the blacks stay with the blacks, or the whites stay with the whites, or you know, the Hispanics stay with the Hispanics, the Latinx stays with Latinx. Like, society has stereotypicalized everybody so harshly that we don't know how to do anything else but separate ourselves. And it just, something needs to change, and I think we could be that change. I really 100% think that this program helps us
Right.
be the change, you know? We have our first interview guest, Dr. April. How are you today, Dr. April? How are you? Yep.
I'm doing pretty good. It's pretty dope to be on this series here. What do we have here? What is
So, our podcast, we wanted to save this as a surprise to you. We told Dr. Shelley about it like last week. But the name of our podcast is Black Geniuses Bring Joy and Love. So,
We
we
don't even need the sound effects.
right. she got them for us.
Literally.
So we have a couple questions to ask you about, you know, you being an educator, just, you know, some questions in general. So
Okay, so I'm gonna bring back a question that Coco had answered already. What experiences from Genius, Joy, and Love do you think you will remember the most?
Probably this experience being here at Boot Up. Like, this is in the past. So this is our 4th year doing Genius, Joy, Love Summer Academy, and I wanted our scholars to create podcasts and things, but we didn't have the tech for it, and so
Right.
we just used Zoom, and Zoom did what Zoom could do.
right.
But
Yeah.
being here at Boot Up, like, I'm just seeing everybody flourish using all the technology here. I mean, from the podcast equipment to the photography to the gaming to the drones. Like, this is like, I'm seeing y'all come alive. Like this is dope. So probably this right here.
Okay. As I'm not gonna say a future, but as an educator, wait, no. wrong one. Was there a teacher that impacted you the most, and what was so special about
Oh
them?
my gosh. A teacher? Jeez.
You could name multiple.
Okay. I'm gonna say you said the most. That's just
Yeah.
really okay. The first one that comes to mind is a counselor. So her name is Dr. Thomasina Hassler, and she had this program for marginalized students, for Black students in high school, and we had like workshops, we had field trips, and we just had conversations about, like, you know, being a student and whatever we needed to help us advance in our education and in life. And so I just remember, so two quick stories. One is that she was like, "Oh, you said you wanted to be a teacher, right?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Oh, you should check out this program." At the time, it was called Northeast Missouri State University, and you know they have a summer program. And I was like, "Okay." And so, like, a few weeks later, she was like, "Oh, did you submit that application?" I was like, "Oh, you know, I missed the deadline." And she was just like, but I completed it. And she was like, "Okay, well, you know, let me just call right now to see if you still turn it in." I was like, okay. So she called right then and there, and they said, "Of course you can submit that application." And so she was like, "Okay, so just go get your application." And I was like, "Oh, I left it at home." And so then she was just like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna write you a pass over lunch to go get it." I was like, "Oh my gosh." So I go home, and I really get, thankfully I had taken an AP English course where we had to write like a college essay. And so I used that. And so I brought it back. She submitted it. I got into the program. And that program was really dope. And that program was again for marginalized students, to help them get prepared for college. And so while I was about to go to a whole different other school after being in that program, I was like, you know, I kind of like this school. I want to go here, right? So she helped me in that sense. Then speed up later, when I actually become a teacher, I started a program for marginalized students. And so what I realized is that I was replicating what she was doing, because that program helped me so much.
Right.
And so I created a program. I took students to like college tours. I took them to the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. That's where I got my PhD. We had workshops. And then the biggest field trip that we took 20 of our students to the presidential inauguration for Barack Obama. You hear me though? Like, it was right. And so I just figured wherever I should go, my students should go.
Right.
And like, this is just this is the basics, right? What I do, like what I'm exposing y'all to, y'all are building on that. And
Right.
so, yeah, I'll say her, because, yeah. And now she's a professor at the University of Missouri St. Louis. We
Shout
both
out to her.
doctors, right?
Love that. Love
Jeez.
that.
So,
Love that.
Yeah, I'll just stick with her.
Okay, so this is an off the dome question, but so what challenges do you have being Black and homosexual?
Okay. Yeah. So I identify as queer, me and my wife. So what challenges as being queer is being in an LGBT relationship? I think I would say it's not, we don't have a lot of challenges, first of all. But
That's good.
right?
Yeah.
That is good.
But there are, I guess, some. So like, I would say, so like yesterday I was getting my hair cut, and just people making the assumption that I'm married to a man, and I didn't correct him. And like, I was like, should I? Like, I ain't got time. Like, we ain't gonna be in a long relationship right,
Right.
here. I'm just getting my hair cut, right? And so just people making assumptions. So I would say that is, it's not
Yeah.
really a big challenge, but I mean, it causes me pause to think, like, okay, I know my wife has talked about like being safe. So we thought about like, okay, so if we move to a different country, then where can we go and be safe?
Yeah.
Because it's not always accepted in other countries.
Right.
I mean, it's not always accepted here. And you know what? A challenge. Okay, I got another one. So when I was going to church, So my pastor at the time, like, I was one of the favorites. No big deal. I'm always a favorite, if I do say so myself. And I just remember I had come home from school and he was like, he was like, oh, April, so good to see you. And, he make sure everybody know I'm home, the whole nine, because I'm like one of his quote unquote daughters, right? So my mom was like, come to Bible study. And I was like, all right, I'll come. So we go to Bible study and he's talking, and in his conversation, in his message or whatever, he was saying how he had one of his mentors was gay, and he said this mentor had brought him into the music industry because he's like also a musician, a pianist and stuff. And so he said that he brought him into the music ministry, but once he realized he was gay, he had to distance himself from him. And I was like, noted. And so then I was like, yo, what? So, okay. So I go at the end of his message, Bible study's over. I go up to him and I was like, hey, he's like, oh, hey, April, hugs, the whole nine. How you, mom? All this, right? And I was like, all is well, but I'm so sorry, because you're gonna have to distance yourself from me. And he was like, well, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, daughter? And I was just like, yeah, because I'm in the same gender loving relationship. And he said, I'm sorry. And I said, I'm not. And I walked out, and that was the last time that I went to that church.
As you should.
Right. And so, but my mom still went there. So that's fine. I support my mom, supported my mom. And the next time I saw him was at my mom's funeral, because my mom loved him, and she also had dementia. So, I felt if she didn't have dementia, she might have had a different thought. Like, you don't appreciate my daughter, I ain't gonna appreciate you. But I don't know. We can't say that. So anyway, he did the eulogy. He provided the service for her, and I was like, hey, I said hello because I'm respectable. I introduced him to my wife. I was like, this is my wife, whatever, and I just left it at that. But so I guess that's a challenge right there. And not necessarily a challenge for me, because I realized that ain't my issue.
Right.
That's the other person's issue. Like, and their limited ideas about God and relationships and what church is supposed to do. So yeah, I would say that, and again, my wife, her research actually focuses on LGBT youth. Black LGBT youth specifically. And so she talks about safety a lot, and young people and their ability to be themselves and be accepted in their families and communities. But since I didn't start dating women until I was well into my 30s, like, I ain't had no, hey, this is who you get. This is who I am. Hey, all right, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. I have another kind of off the dome question. Do you find any difficulties, being that you live in St. Louis, you're not, like, you don't live up here? Do you find any difficulties or any, I don't know, like challenges or something, coming up here every summer and making sure that you don't plan anything, or, I don't know, not necessarily plan anything, but like have anything major that you'd be missing a majority of the program? Do you find any like challenges and all that with traveling back and forth with the program from here to St. Louis and vice versa?
Yeah, great question. All these are great questions. So the only challenge that I've had with that is, so we didn't know if Gene's Joy Love was going to take place this year, because funding is like, our program is based off of funding and people who donate, right? And so we didn't know. And so my wife planned a trip, so that's why I won't be here next week for the whole week, because she's taking me on a surprise cruise, because I've never been on one.
Cruise, I will tell you right now, cruises are amazing.
Go so
I love
bad.
them. I love them.
Okay, so we'll talk offline so
Okay.
you can get me ready.
Okay. All right.
But
Sounds
it's
good.
a surprise. I just know I'm going on a cruise. Don't know where we're going, and so y'all are ready.
That sounds
and
fun.
So that's been the only challenge, just because we didn't know. So
Right.
we planned it during this time. But other than that, like, I've planned around it. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
people know I'm being in Pittsburgh in July, because I'm working with this program with these dope young folks who want to be teachers. And so, like, they already know. And while I'm here, I do amazing dope stuff while I'm here. So, like, last year I went to Ohio Pile for like,
I went to Ohio Power.
it was my first time, and it was also my first time going whitewater rafting. I went hiking.
I loved it.
I had never done that. And I was just, because I was like, well, shoot, this might be the last time I'm in Pennsylvania. Let me go do all the things. And so, because I've built and created such good community here, like, I get to enjoy, like, so much. They're like, oh, you should do this, do this, do this. And so I just got I got good people who always are looking out, which is why we're here at Community Forge with Boot Up. Because Emil was like, yeah, you know, we do this. I was like, we're there, sir.
Right.
We're there.
We got
Yes.
you. Anybody else have any questions?
I don't think so. I
I think we covered a
Yeah, I'm not
a
even
good
gonna lie,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
So do you want to ask her closing question, and then we'll
Okay.
go get the next person?
Yeah, since you're unfortunately leaving us,
Just for a week. I'll be back for the last week.
we are so sad that you're leaving. What is a powerful statement
Oh,
that
shoot.
you would like to leave with us
Oh, man. Okay,
in the
that's a good-
community?
Okay. Okay. I would say that the things that you are passionate about, your gifts, your talents, your education, your experiences, even the experiences where you think that you like quote unquote failed, all of those things make you you. And those things are actually the medicine you need for yourself and also the medicine the community needs. And so when we can recognize that our gifts, all of those things, they're not just for us, but they're also for the community, that's what makes us stronger. That's what empowers us as individuals, but it also empowers the community. And so for me, when we act on those things, on our gifts, talents, passions, experiences, all that knowledge, wisdom, and insight, to me, that's what makes us a liberated genius. And so I believe everybody's a genius because everybody has something to offer the world. But when we act on those things, that's what makes us a liberated genius. And so what I'm here for, I'm just here to support people along the way to help them to liberate their genius.
okay.
Dr. April is the best person ever. I'm not gonna lie.
Team. Watch it.
I receive that, but you know what? Like, if you recognize something great in me, that's only because you have it in you. So game recognize game is just a reflection here.
T, period.
I feel like I need to be recording like with a video. That's awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. This was an honor. And you know,
We appreciate it.
can I just say, so I've been hesitant on starting my own podcast, and people have been telling me for years, you need one. But just watching you all do it, you're just so natural at it, and you're just like cool, calm, collective. Like, it's inspiring me. Like, you know, it's like the poem, it's like the piece. As you let your own light shine, you unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As you're liberated from your own fear, your presence automatically liberates others. Like, you all are inspiring me, and like, I feel like I can do a podcast
This
now.
is
I feel like
it's
you should
very
do a podcast.
yeah, it's very therapeutic, especially if like I'm not gonna like automatically assume you have nobody, but like if you don't have anybody to talk to, and like you don't always have to put your face in a podcast. You can always just like go anonymous and stuff like that, and just like speak.
And
Like,
you speak very well. You're very
Yeah.
articulate. You're very
very
entertaining. and,
very
like,
clear on what
Yes,
you want to
so
say
it's
and your
just-
point that you
yeah.
want to get
Yeah,
across.
like,
yeah.
I would
You
listen.
should start one, honestly.
I would listen,
Literally.
and I don't even listen to podcasts. I will listen.
I love a podcast. Like, I've always wanted to start my own, so this is just kind of like,
Yeah.
I love this.
Dang,
Like,
so you just getting teed up.
I was just
Yeah.
saying, I've
Okay,
always
so
wanted
this
to
is-
start my own podcast too.
Literally.
So this was like the perfect opportunity to actually be able to do
I
it.
feel like okay, so I feel like this program has brought me opportunity to do like what I want. And
Oh,
like,
100%.
going back to the poem, this was my biggest fear. Like I hated like talking to people, and I hated like publicly speaking, but like since my face isn't in it, and like they know who I am but they don't know who I am because I didn't say my full name, I just said Tay.
Yeah.
Like this program brought me the people I need to start my podcast with.
right.
Because I always wanted to do a podcast, but just never by myself. And I never had anybody that wanted to do a podcast with me.
Yeah.
But this program brought me a community that wanted to do a podcast.
This program has 100% to me brought a community together that I think will be together for a while. Like
Yeah.
I really don't think that we're
Yeah, I think that group chat is
personally,
gonna
I don't
keep
think
going.
we're gonna stop being friends anytime soon.
No, literally.
I think we'll talk to each other throughout college once we come back, especially because a lot of us are going into early education.
Mm-hmm.
We want to do the
probably would
elementary
be,
stuff.
like, co-workers or something.
Right.
too.
There's a possibility that
Literally.
a majority of us could be coworkers, and even the ones that are secondary, there's some there's some schools that have middle and high school or
Yeah.
whatever. So at some point we could all 100% be colleagues. And even if one of us changed and decided, hey, I don't want to do early education anymore, I want to do high school, then we could, we still have somebody in everything that, I think this is
We
an
could
amazing
rely
community
on.
personally.
Yeah. I'm really glad that I came. I'm not even going to lie.
Me too.
I was so ready to just give up, and like I just don't know. I was so mentally drained. I was just so ready to give up, and I wasn't gonna come today, but I was like, I gotta come. I gotta come for the people. I gotta come for the community.
It kind of just feels like a safe place.
Yeah,
Like,
and I
just
feel so much
heard
love
and
here.
seen here.
Yeah.
Especially
Right,
like
especially over here at Community Forge and at Boot Up, like I feel like everybody has a dream and it can actually come alive here. And especially like Emil and like all the other people, they make it their priority to make sure that your dream comes alive because theirs already has.
And just seeing all like the black educators come in and just seeing like all the amazing things that like black people like are doing for the community and just like around like schools and stuff, it's mind blowing because I just never really peeped it until now. And it's
Yeah.
I'm just glad that I'm here like literally.
This wouldn't be happening if we didn't have Dr. April. So thank you,
Yes.
Dr. April.
Round of applause for Dr.
This
April.
amazing
Sweet.
stuff.
Thank you. And I also must acknowledge the visionary, Dr. Valerie Kinlock, who's the president of Johnson C. Smith University.
Yep.
This was her vision, right? And so she had this component, which is for aspiring educators, but then there was the teacher component. So there was actually one at the Children's Museum where she brought current practitioners together to think about what Genius Joy Love is and looks like, and they went through all these activities. And so shout out to Dr. Valerie Kinlock. She was the former dean for the School of Education at the University of Pittsburgh, and so this was her baby. And so we just connected because so my company is called Liberated Genius, and we just rock. Like we just think alike, and so it just really worked out. And I'm just honored to be a part of the program. And to be honest, I'm honored to meet each one of you all because while I may be sharing knowledge and wisdom and insight with you all are teaching me just as much as I'm teaching you. So I just want to say thank you to you all because you all are really dope. You're geniuses, and
Yes.
I'm honored to be with you.
Yes. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you so much for being on our first episode of our
real.
podcast. I cannot wait for it to be published and everybody hears, and hopefully this brings more kids in PA to do the Genius Joy Love program and inspire them to become educators or
Yeah.
some kind of educator, even if it's not in a school, even if it's in a community or just anywhere.
Yeah.
Hopefully this can inspire people to, do more. So
Yeah, this is beautiful. And I'm excited for the podcast because even this last little segment that you all, it wasn't like a question, but it was like the after. I'm going to share that with Madam President Valerie Kinlock so she can see like what her idea has really birthed, and you all just expressing your feelings about it. I think she's going to love it. So thank you again. I appreciate y'all.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank
And I'll be
you.
wanting a tutorial on how to do my own podcast.
Of course. All right. Thank you. Dr. Shelley.
Listen, I feel like I have just entered the chamber of genius, joy, and love. I'm looking at
Yes.
genius, joy, love.
Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
This is amazing. Can you all hear me?
Oh, yes. 100% we can hear
Okay.
you.
Can
You
you
are
hear
very
yourself?
clear.
Yeah. Okay.
How are you today, Miss Shelley? Dr. Shelley, how are you?
Bella. It is an interesting place that I'm in right now, right? I talked to the FAME fellows yesterday afternoon about the reality of being in public education, right? Being with young people, every day, 9 to 4, 8 to 2, and the extraction that it makes from me spiritually, emotionally, cognitively, psychologically, but that is all good. I couldn't imagine a better way to spend my time.
Right.
And how I account for that is by ensuring that when I start each day, I'm at overflow. right? You can't come in just at the baseline.
Right.
Right. Thinking of a cup, if a cup is just full, you take a couple steps, then the water's splashing out, right? And I understand, that I'm not a real fan of the word like energy, but I do understand that energy is a thing, right? And so in the same way, our energy is spilling out, or someone's drinking from it, right? So I think of myself as a glass of cool water that the faucet just doesn't go off. So that when I have a moment like I had this morning, and it brings me down a little bit and makes me feel a little melancholy, I got some extra to live on. So,
And I hope the rest of your day is just amazing.
Beautiful.
It already
shiny,
is.
Right.
joyful,
Just
loving.
just like you.
I'm with y'all. It's
period.
Right,
Period.
Because two things can be true, right? I can be sad, right? Because I'm a human being and humans get sad. But I can also be experiencing tremendous joy.
Right.
Because I'm here with you all.
Yes.
baby.
Okay.
Yes.
So, we do have a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
And you are a powerful speaker. Okay. Powerful. Real powerful. So, let's start with an off the dome question. How did you find your voice? And how are you just so confident in yourself and nobody can bring you down?
So, you all remember me sharing a little bit of my baby Mariah, the one who turned me into a dope educator. One day, Mariah and I were talking, and I was sharing some things with her about my past, my upbringing, my younger self. And at the time, I was just Miss Moy. And she cocked her head to the side, and she's like, Miss Moy, you were in foster care? Miss Moy, you were on welfare? Miss Moy, you lived in the Miss Moy,
You?
Miss Moy, amen. And what occurred to me in that moment is that as adults, we are always giving young people this misguided notion that we arrived all put together. No one arrives all put together, right? And especially not me. And so I was a child who was afraid to speak up, was punished for speaking up. I'm dark complected. Those of you all who will be listening to this podcast can't hear that, but I am quite melanated and loving every minute of it. But as a child, I did not, because I was a lot of really mean names, just a right. And so it was really difficult. And so I didn't, and not unless it was a one-on-one, right? You would find me in a small group like this, and people would be like, oh my God, you're so funny, you're so silly. Oh my, you're so this, you're so that, right? And I can just say that over time, as I live, as I grow, as I become more wise, confidence kind of comes alongside of that.
Right.
And at this big age in my life, right, I'm literally a half a century old. And what I know is that God has put some things in me, and he has not put them in me for me to keep to myself.
Right.
Right. And so that even when I don't want to say something, I can't keep it inside because I was born to make manifest the glory of God that is in me and in each of you all, right? So it has come over time, and it wasn't easy, but it was worth it.
Period.
It is, because we've only known each other for what, 2 weeks?
A week and a half, 2 weeks.
Week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks because it's Thursday.
You've done a lot to motivate. I'm not even just gonna say me, but probably most of the people in this program.
Oh, 100%.
Because there's some stuff that I like, you're the one that got me to speak out and just start talking more. Because I came into this thing not wanting to talk to nobody. I told Elijah that. I was like, Elijah, I'm not going to talk to nobody. Like, I'm telling you, I'm not going to talk to nobody. He's like, by the end of it, you're going to talk to somebody. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like,
I said what I said.
I said what I said. Like, I know the AEC scholars. That's what I'm going to do, is talk to the AEC scholars. Dr. Moy walked up to me, and she was the first person I talked to other than the AEC scholars. I was like, great. Now I got to talk to people. And then she was like, she told Elijah, split them all up. I was like, jeez. So he puts me next to, I think it was
him. You sat next to him the first day.
It was him the first day, and he started talking to me. I was like, okay, he's cool. And then she was like, scramble him up again. We kept doing it. And then he sat me next to Tamonte. And I started talking to Tamonte, and I started learning more about Tamonte. And I was like, okay, great. So Dr. Shelley is the reason why I got out my shell. And that's no pun intended. No pun intended. But she got me out my shell, and she got me talking to other people. And now this community feels like a family.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
One of my favorite articles, I believe it's Tara Yasso, but don't quote me on that. But it's called, "Can a Classroom Be a Family?"
It can.
That's heavy. Yeah.
And it
It
should
is.
be.
Right.
I was gonna say I feel like a classroom shouldn't function any other way than unless it's like
You
as a
should
family.
feel like you can confide in the teacher and in the students and feel like it's a safe place, that you're not going to get judged by everybody by
Right.
your looks, or maybe because you don't have the newest clothes or the newest shoes that just dropped,
The
or
only classroom
or anything.
I felt like that in is this one. The
Yeah.
only classroom I felt like I can confide in someone.
In everybody.
In everybody, and not get judged for walking in the
100%.
room is this one. Like, when I cut my hair, I did not want to walk in with my hair out. Everybody was like, no, do it, don't do it. Elijah even complimented me. He was like, it looks good. I was like,
I mean, baby, the hair is herring,
Mm-hmm.
and the side part is setting it off. Okay,
thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
And I walked in. I seen Dr. Shelley, proud to have short hair. Seen Rainey, proud to have short hair. I was like, I could be proud to have short hair too.
Yes,
So I was like,
ma'am.
I came in. I was just,
Yeah,
I tried, and it worked.
and it works.
I do have a question for you, Dr. Shelley, that it's kind of another off the dome question.
Okay.
What most inspired you to want to become an educator? Because you're not just a teacher. You're a master teacher.
You're a master
You're an
teacher.
educator. You go above and beyond for
A thug in a classroom.
everybody.
Thug
right.
in the classroom.
Right.
Thug in the
You can
classroom.
be a little thuggish sometimes, but hey,
Thuggish to the
ain't nothing
bone.
wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But yeah, what was your inspiration, or your pushing point that kind of pushed you to where, like, this is what I have to do, this is what I need to do, like, I can't do anything else?
What it's so uncanny that you all would ask that question. So I'll first start by saying I am not a teacher. I am an educator, and I always make that distinction because props to the folks who go through teacher education programs and pass their praxis and become certified, right? Teachers are certified to teach their content area. Educator comes from the Latin word educe.
Right.
And educe means to bring out, right? We talked about that this morning.
Right.
Right? The educator's job is to recognize that it's already in you,
Right. And to
to
just
remind
bring it
you
out.
of that,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
help you get it to the surface, right? So I am an educator, right? And for so long, I did not embrace that title because I was like, me? Who, me? Me? That
Yeah.
lack of confidence, right?
Right.
That lack of knowing who I was. When I was a small child, maybe like 7, 8 years old, the first memory I have of what I wanted to be when I grew up was a teacher, right? And when I grew up, that just was not my path.
Right.
I didn't acquire my bachelor's degree until I was 33 years old. I didn't get my associate's degree until I was 45 years old. Notice I got a bachelor's before I got an associate's degree, right? Actually, I was maybe 46. But at any rate, what was like the catalyst? So I spent like 21 years in corporate America. I worked for like Gateway Health, UPMC Health Plan, Highmark, like just done the whole circuit. And all the while, I was like a parent leader. So like I was the PTO president. I was the preschool policy council rep. Like I was having this whole educational experience like alongside of my corporate career. And I wanted to be in education full time, but none of my, at that time, formal education like supported me being able to make that transition into the classroom. And so I was just like, all right, Lord, well, I guess when my last kid goes to college, and then I'll do something and I'll do something. But the Lord had already been, and I am a believer and a follower of Christ. And so you will hear me make references, right, to that, because I live and breathe and have my being in Christ, right? And so he had been pulling on my heartstrings, and he had been showing me some things and revealing some things. And I was like, let's negotiate. Let's
talk about it.
Let me put, Jesus, could you hold on? Hold on.
Right.
Hold on.
Let me put you on hold real
Hold
quick.
on, right? And I remember it like it was yesterday. It was 2017. And the safety blanket, the security blanket was snatched from under me. I was written up and told, I was written up, right, by the manager. And she was a Caucasian woman, and she sat across the conference table and cried and told me about all the ways she did not want to write me up because she knew that all the things that were going into the write-up were inaccurate. And I sat across from her as an African-American woman, right, who is always like in the disempowered part of this equation. Like, you gonna let somebody bully you into lying on me? And the things that were in the write-up, like I was hard to work with. People didn't want to, like all the, exactly, like, and
I
I
wish
sat,
you could see our faces right now.
right. I sat across from her and I was crying, but I was crying because I was like, Lord, what is happening? And I went home and I thought and I prayed. But what I did know is that I could not continue to work there.
Right.
I couldn't continue to work there because the only thing I need for my manager to do for me is advocate on my behalf. Right. I don't need you to teach me how to do my job. I don't need you to hold my hand while I do my job. Like, matter of fact, I taught you how to do your job so you could be my manager. I need you to defend me in places where I am not there to defend myself. And now that I see you can't do that, this ain't gonna work, right? And so not only that, because I had already been hearing the Lord tell me it was time to move on, I was like, now's the time. I knew I could be a substitute teacher. And so I resigned from my $85,000+ a year job with bonuses every year. And I went to go be a substitute teacher at the University Preparatory School at Margaret Malliance. And I made about $22,000 that year. But my God, it transformed.
I was going to say,
my
it probably felt
life.
so much better to be doing something that you actually enjoyed and loved instead of doing something that just,
That's
I don't
gotta
know,
bring you to
irritated you.
heartbreak.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't
Yeah.
care how much money I'm getting. If I don't like it, I'm not going to do it.
Right.
That part right there, baby.
you shouldn't have
Your
a
soul
you
is
shouldn't
not for
have a
sale.
career, nothing like that if you don't enjoy it. Because if you are really inspired to do something and you really have it in you to do something, the amount of money you're getting is never going to matter. And like that's one of
I
the
still
biggest
don't make
things.
any money, FYI.
Right.
I'm still working for love.
Right,
Today,
like-
Genius, Joy, and Love. That's what they pay me. Not
like
money.
I've had so many people that I've told, like, yeah, I want to be an educator, like I want to go and get my degree to be an educator, all of that, and they're like, oh well, they don't make a lot of money.
I don't care. Like, I hate when
that's
everybody
not
says that.
that's
I
not my
don't care.
purpose.
Which is also not always true.
Right.
Right. That's a contextual
Right.
reality. And for those of you all who are coming through the AEC program, oh baby, Pittsburgh public school teachers make that bread.
Mm.
Don't you let
Okay.
nobody tell you nothing different.
Right.
Y'all make the bread.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I think like honestly, I think that kind of irritates me a little bit when people sit here and say like, "Oh, well, you know you don't make a lot of money." Okay, well, I'm not sitting here and telling you, "Well, you know you don't make that much money at your job. Why are you still there?" Because you still love doing your job and you don't care about the money.
Yeah.
So why would you sit
If
here
I
and
love
tell
the
me
kids,
the same
why
thing?
do I care about the money?
Exactly.
Literally every year since I was in 9th grade, every summer, I work at Urban Impact Foundation on the north side. And I go there since I'm here Monday through Thursday. I only go there Fridays this year. Everyone, like, when I tell people, like, that I work there, they're like, you know, you don't make no money. When I tell y'all, I don't even know the days I get paid from that job. I'm strictly there for the kids. The kids love me so much. Last Friday was my first Friday back. When I tell you, kids were crying, screaming, jumping because I was back. Like, I genuinely care for the kids. I'm not there for the money. Like, it was never really like for the money for me. And even like, and I know Pittsburgh Public Schools teachers, like, they make money, but even if they don't make a lot of money, I don't care. I'm not there for the money. Like, you know.
Exactly.
But
You know?
here's something I want to encourage you all, right, as the next generation of educators, whether you are classroom teachers, community educators, non-traditional educators, right? Being underpaid is not a badge of honor, right? Teachers have the most important job in the world. You
Right.
all are educating the doctors, lawyers, and so I just encourage you all to help transform the system, like it's in its entirety,
Yes.
because you should be compensated appropriately for the work that you're doing.
Right.
Right?
Right.
You deserve to have a good quality of life, and that takes money, right? And you deserve it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're running low on time, but we still have 2 questions.
I'm gonna keep my answer short this time.
So, what experience from Genius, Joy, and Love do you think you will remember the most of this year?
So that is a challenging one because, as you all said, we're only 2 weeks in. But what I can tell you is that each day, I'm like, this day was amazing. And then I come back the next day, and oh my gosh, the day is amazing. So I am, but if I had to put money on it, like if I had to give you an answer, I would say the final day when I see all
When the
these
projects
finished
Right.
presentations. Yeah, that's going. I'll probably be in tears. You know, I'm a classroom thug. What?
Yeah. Okay. What is a powerful statement that you would like to leave with us?
So I'm going to leave you with 2, and I will let you decide which one makes the final cut.
Oh,
This is the final
girl,
cut.
this is the final cut.
Well, then you getting 2.
Right.
All
All
right,
right,
get
that's fine.
one. So the audience can't see, but I have a tattoo emblazoned upon my chest. It is a flame, and it says, "I'm lit 'cause they're fire." I had a previous student tell me how fire, or Michelle, you're lit. You're lit. Michelle, you're so lit. And I got a divine download, and I looked at her, and I was like, "Baby, I'm lit because y'all are fire." She's like, "Period, Michelle, period." And then that became a thing. And then I got it memorialized on my chest, right?
Yes,
But a
yes.
few years ago, there is an organization called the State of Black Learning, and they do an education conference every year in the city of Pittsburgh for those who care about Black children and their education outcomes. They now have a component to that program where they give an award. It's this Black Excellence in Education. I was in the first cohort of educators who won that award, and I had to share a quote with them. And my quote says, "Children are my North Star." So like when we talk about what is your North Star in teaching, you all are my North Star. When I say I'm lit because I'm fire, I'm only dope because you all entrust me and allow me into your presence. You teach me as much as I teach you, and it just makes me a better practitioner. I could not be the Miss Shelley that you all are talking about and describing without you all, right? So you all are my North Star. I trust you.
Yes.
I need you, and I love you. And I thank you so much for allowing me to share some of my thoughts with you on this dope podcast.
Of
We
course.
love
you
you
so
too.
much.
Oh my
We
god,
love
they're
you.
gonna
This-
love you. Oh my
this
god.
wouldn't be a first episode without the amazing Dr. April and Dr. Shelley.
The Dr. Shelley at
The-
that. There's no other
The
Dr. Shelley.
Dr. Shelley.
If I ever meet another Dr. Shelley, I'd be like, I know a better one.
Period.
yeah.
Drop mic.
Kid.
Done.
Includes the first episode of the Black Geniuses Bring Joy and Love podcast. Bella, do you have any outro words?
Honestly, no. I hope everybody enjoys this amazing, what I think was an
I think it was
amazing first
amazing.
episode of the
We
Black
will be back.
Geniuses
We
Bring
will
Joy
be
and
back.
Love. Oh, of course.
We have
many more episodes to come.
sneak peek for
Um,
next week. We
yeah.
have, I think, Elijah and Marco
Mhm.
coming.
More interviews, more topics.
And another sneak peek. It'll be Marcus's first full week there.
Yes,
So
it will.
we
So we
get
can ask Marco
first-hand
how his first
experience.
full week is.
Exactly.
Well, we appreciate everybody who tunes in, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Peace.
Peace out.